Chapter 07. So tell me, Seal-sensei, how did you save Shizu-san? Because the superior spirit of Flame's Ifrit has a weak ego, Shizu Izawa's ego and the superior spirit Ifrit's ego collided, resulting in a fight over the physical body. So they're basically fighting over the same body. Yes, Ifrit was tasked with using Shizu Izawa's body as a medium. Leon never expected Shizu-san to destabilize Ifrit's control. That's correct. However, whether a spirit possesses an ego or not is irrelevant, as long as the compatibility between the medium and the spirit remains stable. So, you're saying Ifrit and Shizu-san weren't an ideal match? Shizu-san's forte was the flame element, but let's just say her affinity didn't quite suit Ifrit. While Shizu Izawa's compatibility with flame elements is excellent, her body was rejecting Ifrit. That's why I synthesized a compatible spirit and recreated it accordingly. And there she goes again. I can practically imagine Seal-sensei wearing a smug expression right now. With our access to the Akashic records and Azathoth's full creation abilities, nothing is beyond our reach. It's impressive, though not surprising at this point. What caught me off guard was how Seal had thoroughly analyzed Shizu-san, creating a spirit perfectly suited to her, without even relying on Rimuru or the dwelling of spirits. Still, I need to make sure of something. Wait, just to clarify, you didn't go overboard, did you? Please tell me you didn't have Shizu-san inhabit the Great Spirit of Light to boost her growth. No, it is not the Great Spirit of Light. I created a new species of spirit instead. That at the very least assured me. Oh, right, Seal, can we analyze Ifrit? I did promise Veldora to bring him a new friend, after all. But with Ifrit's faint ego, wouldn't Veldora just overpower him? Then let's use the spell we used to turn Ifrit into a full magic born. I'm always both fascinated and a bit horrified by Seal-sensei's proclamations. Well, since storing and refining abilities is where Seal genuinely shines, and where she takes the most joy, I suppose I won't push this any further. Just go ahead and do what I said. Leave it to me. I need to report something to you, Master. What is it? While I awaited your return in the end of space and time, I analyzed and refactored the system of the world. An electric chill ran down my spine when Seal-sensei said that. She continued to explain. Using the billions and trillions of years at her disposal, Seal-sensei had meticulously explored every corner of the world's system. She examined every algorithm, striving to fully comprehend how the world operates in its entirety. I couldn't help but feel a bit worried. She was diving into something extraordinary once again. But she quickly reassured me that this discovery was of great importance. Deep within the complex, Byzantine system, Seal-sensei had encountered something beyond even her understanding, despite spending millions of years analyzing it. An absolute life form of creation, the Supreme Spirit God. This entity commands all grand elementals and governs the very fabric of reality and its concepts. A spirit god, huh? Demons have their 7 primordial demons. Angels have the apostles of the end, the most powerful of their kind. To maintain balance among these elite spiritual beings, spirits have their grand elementals. But they're just pure energy that controls concepts, lifeless, lacking the vitality of other spiritual lifeforms. But isn't Rimuru supposed to be the queen of spirits? Yet, the Supreme Spirit God seems to hold the greatest power over them. What's even more fascinating is what comes next. I know, Master, it was puzzling to discover such an existence after everything we've already encountered. But there's more. According to Seal, the Supreme Spirit God stands alongside a being known as the Great True Deity. This true deity represents the final evolution of all divine beings. Just as Diablo is a demon god, the ultimate form of a demon, and Chloe and Leon have ascended to demigod status, this deity stands at the pinnacle of divinity. True dragons. And me is an ultimate slime. Apparently, this form is the ultimate incarnation. Every species has the potential to evolve into this incarnation, but it's such an impossible task that, according to Seal, even Veldonava at his prime was nowhere near this threshold of power. But you might be wondering, why am I worrying about all of this? After all, I'm just a lovable slime. Seal told me that I am closer to reaching this level than anyone else. And when that happens, there's a high chance I'll die, becoming a new medium for millions of worlds. She also warned me that if it comes to that point, even she wouldn't be able to save me. Her calculations show a significant risk, so she suggested I seek out the Supreme Spirit God. By finding this being, we might be able to analyze how to prevent that future. This thoughts made my mind ache, but I would keep Ciel's warning in mind. I already boosted Ifrit's ego. Veldora should be able to manage at this point. I decided to leave the rest to Veldora, allowing him to take responsibility for Ifrit. Let's just hope he doesn't make any mistakes. Upon teleporting to Veldora's cave, I was immediately struck by what I saw. Whoa, I couldn't help but blurt it out. As a starting village, we collect ores on the outskirts of the caves to avoid hazards, as Veldora's forbidden cave is truly dangerous. Our best warriors, Gobta and Rigyur, are both rated between C and B-. Despite their skills, they are still unable to defeat the monsters lurking in the sealed cave. The outskirts are abundant with magisteel clusters, but when I ventured deeper into the cave, I witnessed something incredible. Vesta and Kaijin's eyes were already sparkling with excitement. It resembled a high-concentration magisteel garden. Look at those sprouting magisteel clusters everywhere. At this point, I knew we would be rich. There was no getting around it, we had to ask the dragon himself. Yo, Veldora, I knocked 3 times and quickly. Come in. I opened the door just to saw him lying on his bed reading a manga and absolutely not doing anything. Hey, can you at least be productive? How cruel, Rimuru, I'm being productive, Veldora complained like a whining baby. Veldora's magical maximum capacity has been vastly increased. Wait, really? The reason was anger. That's pretty weird. Nothing should provoke Veldora's anger right now, especially when he's isolated. The reason for his turmoil was probably because of the manga you gave him. So, according to Seal, Veldora had been reading a popular shonen jump and had become really hooked. But when he reached the conclusion and the protagonist tragically died, he became enraged. That's Ciel's report. Veldora's rage caused vigorous steels to sprout in every part of the cave. Well, it's sort of okay, but not really okay. Well, anyway, this is what I promised you. I tossed a doll made from metals created with magisteel and Charybdis scales. Now, come forth, superior spirit of flames, Ifrit. Here is the friend you asked for. A friend. Well, that tale would be discussed another time. Veldora customized Ifrit all by himself, and they quickly became good friends. Despite their enormous difference in power, they got along like fine roommates. Veldora continued to play around, while Ifrit took on the role of supervisor and did the household chores. The two would often play together while literally spying on my journey using display magic. After spending time together, Veldora named him Cherries. Hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond. Now then, shall we enjoy the new bath? Yes, that's right. The reason I built the public bath before Shizu-san's arrival was to take a bath with her. Oh yeah, and Seal also wanted a bath, so that's one of the reasons. There's nothing really special about it. The bath was designed like what the dwarves built in the original timeline. Surrounded by a bamboo fence, it features an enormous outdoor bath where the water is heated by magic to the perfect temperature. The water naturally flows from a spring, and as we heat it, water vapor is produced, moisturizing the body. This makes the bath beneficial for both physical and mental well-being, with herbal properties that are good for the skin and overall health. A wonderful bath is best served after a tiring day at work. This is common knowledge back in Japan. Seal assumed my body double and joined me in the female bath. As I opened the door, thick steam enveloped the area, making it even more delightful, but something was lacking. I had hoped to hop into the bath and see Shizu-san, but it appeared she wasn't there. My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is. Welcome Tilda. Someone greeted us, but that voice, it's Ellen. Well, at least Ellen is here, but my goal was to see Shizu-san, but naked. Upon hearing Ellen's voice, Seal immediately retreated into me. After all, her existence is a closely guarded secret. So I decided to let her have a bath alone later. I approached Ellen in my human form. Normally, I bathe in my slime form because Shuna and Shion would never leave my human form alone and would strip me down to different items of clothing. But the human form is the best medium for bathing, and since Shuna and Shion were still nowhere to be found in the village, I wasn't going to let this opportunity pass to bathe as a human. I first washed my body with soap, then soaked in the water, joining Ellen in the bath. She smiled at me as I sat beside her. She has the body of a 16-year-old, her proportions, in one word, perfect. Even though she doesn't have big, curvy assets, there's always room for growth. It feels good. This place really is a paradise, Ellen claimed. Yeah, I guess. That reminds me, you guys will be leaving tomorrow morning, right? I asked. I don't want to leave this place yet. She complained, her face souring at the thought of departing. But they had tons of work to do. Actually, I want to relay a message, if that's okay. I'll kindly do everything you want, she said confidently, but my message was simple. I want you to spread the news to your associates that we are not a dangerous group of monsters, I declared. She stood up, revealing absolutely everything to me. I'll leave it to us, she exclaimed, her face betraying no hint of bashfulness. Can't you act a little more modest? This girl is an undercover princess, right? But her actions resemble those of a plain adventurer. Well, in exchange for your hard work, I'm going to ask Kaijin, our blacksmith, to whip you up some equipment. No, we're fine with just the accommodation, she reasoned. I strongly insist. Wah, I couldn't let her know I was afraid they might die due to a lack of proper equipment. After all, the Caval band is terrible. Just being around them endangers your life. Well, that settled it. Ellen might argue for a while, but they truly needed equipment. Well, I think I've had enough steam for today, I said. I think I'm going to leave the bath as well, Ellen replied. Hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond. I was resolved to find the enigma who had just extended my lifespan as if it were nothing. Of course, I wasn't oblivious or ignorant, because, in reality, I had a suspect in mind regarding this mystery. Ellen, and the others would be leaving tomorrow, but for me, I planned to ask Rimuru-san to employ me here. After all, locating that enigmatic being would be easier than tracking down Demon Lord Leon. I could join their patrol group or become a local teacher for the goblin children. But for now, let's soak our minds in this wonderful bath. Surprisingly enough, there was another person in the bath. I sharpened my perception to take a closer look at who it was, and I was taken aback. Her appearance was bewitching. She looked like a 16-year-old girl, with moderate curves that were, in a word, perfect. Even as the same gender, I felt charmed by her beauty. Her skin was so smooth, it could be compared to porcelain. But most concerning of all, she had silver blue hair, and instead of golden yellow eyes, she possessed marvelous crimson red eyes. Rimuru-san, that was my honest thought. But without hesitation, she said, no, I'm Seal, a loyal consort of Master. Consort, but they were basically twins. Don't tell me, are they one of those people who marry their relatives? Now, let's not jump to conclusions. By consort, she means a companion, right? I then soaked my body beside her. I knew I wasn't particularly talkative, but this girl was on another level. Without batting an eye, she just sat silently without uttering a single word. The silence made the atmosphere awkward, so I decided to break the ice. Seal-san, do you live here? I didn't see anyone as gorgeous as you on sight. She simply replied, I am. Seal was a wonderful name. And finally, just finally she looked at me. Of course, Master gave it to me. By Master, you mean Rimuru-san, right? Yes. Finally, some progress, she was talking to me. I didn't know what this feeling was, but I really wanted to talk to this girl. Report. What is it, Great Sage? I advise Master to be careful around the individual named Seal. Further assessment of the individual named Seal has been obstructed. Wow, wait. This is the same as when I asked you to appraise the enigma person, right? Answer. Yes. Then could this girl, Seal, possibly be the one? Notice. The chance that the individual named Seal is the mysterious person who revived Master is 0.00001%. Wait, that cannot be right. Did you say, most likely? Why is it 0.00001%? What's happening with you, Great Sage? Seal-san, maybe you could really be someone extraordinarily confidential. I'm just a substitute for Master, she replied. She said that, but I couldn't rely on Great Sage. It seemed someone was hindering its ability to provide further information. Was it Seal-san? Most likely it was her. Then let's test if you really are exceptional. I attempted to punch her, outputted with my new skill open hollow corner bracket pyro sage close hollow corner bracket, without warning, but my eyes couldn't even follow her movements. All I saw was a fast whirlwind of blurry motion. When I opened my eyes, I found Ciel's arm gripping my neck firmly and pinning me to the ground, my right hand restrained behind my back. I see now, she is incredible. She is extremely calculative. I tried to assess Ciel's mindset, but I knew it was impossible. If I held back my punch, she would have taken it and played it off as normal. But when I exerted a force that could damage her, she had no choice but to reveal her power. I see, you are the enigma person. I've got a request. Her surprise counterattack had caught me off guard, and I spoke with a sour voice because Ciel's grip on my throat was quite strong. I only obey Master's orders, she sternly asserted. I tried removing her hand with my other hand, but Seal used her other hand to completely pin me on the ground. Strong, I can't even move my arms. But arms aren't my only limbs, I used my legs to lock Ciel's lower half. However, things did not go as planned. Instead of feeling intense pain, Ciel casually accepted the leg lock. I applied more force, pulling Ciel's body closer to mine. Her skin was incredibly soft, and as a woman, I found myself oddly fascinated by her beauty. Ciel's force paused for a moment, her chest pressing against mine, and for some reason, I sensed that she was annoyed. Emotions flickered across her face. "So this is the load of flesh Master is so affectionate toward," she remarked, then gripped my right breast, not gently but with a firm intensity. Ciel-san, what exactly are you doing?" I asked, bewildered. "I'm analyzing." Appraisal complete. She released her grip, leaving me in a daze. "Just who are you?" "Once again, I'm Ciel, Master Rimuru's only legal wife." To be continued.